said to be balanced, right? So balancing condition na mention ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು because we will use that one. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ balancing condition na mention ಮಾಡಿ. So let us use that balancing condition. A balancing condition na that is Ig is equal to 0. ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ equation 1 2 3 ಮತ್ತೆ 4 ಗೆ. So equation 1 becomes Ig 0 ಆದರೆ it is I1 is equal to I3. equation 2 becomes Ig 0 ಆದರೆ I2 is equal to I4 and equation 3 becomes Ig 0 ಆದರೆ it is minus I3 into Q plus I4 into S is equal to 0, or this can also be written as I3 into Q is equal to I4 into S. Let us call this as equation 5 and equation 4 becomes equation 4 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ Ig 0 ಆದರೆ so remaining is I2 into R is equal to I1 into P. It is called equation 6, right? From equation 5 and 6, this can be written as I1 into P, it is equal to I2 into R. So equation 6 by 4 ಮಾಡಿ equation 6 divided by 5. So it is I1 into P divided by I3 into Q is equal to I2 into R divided by I4 into S. So from ಇದನ್ನ 7 and ಇದನ್ನ 8 ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ so from equation 7 and 8, so here it becomes I3 into P divided by I3 into Q is equal to I4 into R divided by I4 into S. I4 cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, remaining is P by Q is equal to R by S. So this is a balancing condition, right? So ಇದಿಷ್ಟನ್ನು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ, right? ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ the balancing condition. The bridge is balanced only when Ig is equal to 0. So ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಇಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಇನ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ನ KVL ಮತ್ತು KCL ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಗೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲಿ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ 1 2 1 plus 2 plus 1 4 and remaining 1 is for the simplification. So this is all about the balancing condition derivation, right? Okay, next one is part D last question, that is 29th question. So 29th question is what is motional EMF and derive expression for motional EMF. So equation alli motional EMF definition ಹೇಳಬೇಕು and derivation ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. equation ಗೆ definition ಗೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ and remaining derivation part ಗೆ 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So totally 5, right? So let us see the definition. So motional EMF is nothing but the EMF is induced in a conductor due to its motion in a magnetic field. That is called as definition, right? Let us derive expression for motional EMF. So motional EMF ಗೆ equation derive ಮಾಡೋಣ. Twenty-ninth question. Definition is an EMF induced in a conductor due to its motion in a magnetic field, that is called as motional EMF. Definition 1 mark irutte. Next let us consider the diagram. Right. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಥಿಯರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆರಿವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಇದನ್ನಾದರೂ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದನ್ನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ. ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಅ PQRS as a conductor which is placed in a magnetic field. Now here in this conductor PQ side is movable, it is free to move and which moves with the velocity v. Right. So when PQ conductor moves towards the left side ಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಥ್ರೂ ಅ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್. ರೈಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನೌ ದ ಏರಿಯಾ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್, ರೈಟ್, ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ PQ is moved towards left with constant velocity v through a distance dx. Then the area covered by the conductor is ds is equal to L into dx. ds is equal to L into dx. Now the change in, so surface area change ಆದಮೇಲೆ automatic ಆಗಿ magnetic flux also changes. So therefore the change in magnetic flux across the conductor is given by, that is d phi, change in magnetic flux d phi, and which is equal to b ds. So here theta is 90 degree between the velocity vector and the magnetic field, therefore it is sin 90 is 1, therefore b ds, and d phi is equal to b into ds is nothing but L into dx. Now let us call this as equation 1. Now so this is a change in magnetic flux. This change in magnetic flux always produces EMF, that is it induces EMF, right? According to Faraday's law, let us define the induced EMF. So therefore according to Faraday's law, the induced EMF is given by E is equal to minus d phi by dt. Faraday's law gottide, that is E is equal to minus d phi by dt, right? So therefore E is equal to minus d phi is nothing but it is bl into dx divided by dt. E is equal to, but here dx by dt is nothing but velocity, rate of change of distance, that is nothing but velocity. So therefore E is equal to minus BL into V. So this is the final expression, right? So this is an expression for motional EMF, that is E is equal to minus BLV. So idishtana mention ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Definition 1 mark. So diagram with explanation 2 marks. Sorry, diagram with explanation 1 mark and final derivation part steps ಗಳೇನಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 3 marks. So totally 5 marks. So next one is 5th main. So 5th main ಹೋಗೋಣ. So 5th main ಅಲ್ಲಿ first question is 30th question. So derive lens makers formula. So previous test allu college test allu kuda ee question bandittu, that is lens makers formula. So lens makers formula na derive ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ತುಂಬ ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದಟ್ ಒನ್. ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಸೊ 30th ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಗೆ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಫಸ್ಟು. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಇದಿಷ್ಟನ್ನ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ರೇ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಪರಾಗಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಆ್ಯರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ್ಯರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗಿರೋ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕನ್ನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರೇ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಆ್ಯರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? Now, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ explanation part ನ simple ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ, that is xp1 y and xp2 y. So xp1 y, xp2 y represents two refracting surfaces, right? ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ xp1y, xp2y represents the two refracting surfaces. U is object distance, V is image distance, C1 C2 are center of curvatures, R1 R2 are radius of curvatures of two refracting surfaces. I is a image, right? ಸೊ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಪಾರ್ಟನ್ನು ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇದಿಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಸ್ xp1y. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಗೇನ್ ನೀವು ರೇ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ xp1y. Here object is O is the object, and the light ray from the object incident on the first surface and it gets refracted and it forms an image at I1. So I1 is the image of the object for the first refracting surface. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ distance of object distance is u, and here image distance is considered as v1, and we have a relation, we know the relation for nu v and r for a curved surface, refracting surface ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ we'll have that is minus n1 by n1 by u plus n2 by v1 is equal to n2 minus n1 divided by r1. Let us call this as equation 1. Explanation part na heli ee equation na mention ಮಾಡಿ. Next again second step ಅಲ್ಲಿ refraction at second surface is x p2 y. So ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ray diagram ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. x p2 y. So it is I1 I. It is V, and this one is V1. Here is center of curvature, it is R2. Here for refraction at second surface, that is in the absence of first surface, the image of the first surface acts as a virtual object. ನಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಯಲ್ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ರಿಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದ ರಿಯಲ್ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ at the first surface, it acts as a virtual object, and the image of that object, virtual object, is formed at I ಅಲ್ಲಿ formation ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So therefore here the object distance is v1 and image distance is v, right? So let us use the same condition, that is same equation use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ it is minus n2 by v plus n1 by v1, n2 by v1 and n1 by v, that is equal to n1 minus n2 divided by r2. So this can also be written as minus n2 by v1 plus n1 by v is equal to negative na common ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ is n2 minus n1 by r2. Equation 2, right? So I'll wrap the first one. ಇದನ್ನ wrap ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. So add equation 1 and 2. ಎರಡು equation ನ add ಮಾಡಿ simplify ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ so you'll get final equation. Simplification ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. is n1 by u plus n2 by v1 minus n2 by v1 plus n1 by v is equal to n2 minus n1 by r1 minus n2 minus n1 by r2, right? So cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. minus n1 by u plus minus 1 by u plus 1 by v is equal to n2 minus n1 by n1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So here when u is equal to infinity, image is formed at the focus, principal focus. Therefore minus 1 by infinity plus 1 by f is equal to n2 by n1 minus 1 is equal to 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. But here n2 by n1 can be written as n21. So therefore 1 by f is equal to n21 minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So this is a final equation. So ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಡಿರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇದಿಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ. What is photoelectric effect? 31st question. So what is photoelectric effect? And write experimental observations of photoelectric effect. So simple agide photoelectric effect na define ಮಾಡಿ the phenomenon of emission of electrons from the metal surface when the electromagnetic radiations of suitable frequency is incident on it. That is nothing but photoelectric effect. Experimental observations na neatag mention ಮಾಡಿ 5 points ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So when is the photoelectric emission is a instantaneous process. So next point is for every emissive metal surface there exists a minimum frequency which is called as threshold frequency, and below which there is no photoelectric emission takes place. That is the second point. Third point is for a given frequency greater than threshold frequency, the current, photoelectric current is always directly proportional to intensity of the incident radiation. That is the third point. Next one, fourth point is for every photosensitive material above the threshold frequency, the maximum kinetic energy of the electrons is always directly proportional to the frequency of the incident radiations. That is the fourth point. Next, last point is for every photosensitive surface, the stopping potential is always directly proportional to the frequency of the incident radiation. So idishtu points galna mention madre 5 marks irutte. Definition ಗೆ 1 mark, observations ಗೆ 4 mark. Next one is 32nd question. Explain the working of semiconductor diode in forward and reverse bias. Forward ಮತ್ತೆ reverse bias ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು explain ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Forward biasing ಅಲ್ಲಿ so forward bias ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ this is a depletion layer, right? Depletion layer. So where in forward biasing ali P region is connected to positive terminal of the battery and N region is connected to negative terminal of the battery. So this represents forward condition. So forward biasing. So ee diagram na hakbittu working na explain ಮಾಡಿ. Forward biasing when the semiconductor is connected in forward biasing, then here in case of P region, positives are, I mean holes are the majority charge carriers, and in N region electrons are the majority charge carriers. Here in minority is holes, here minorities are electrons. So when they are connected, they diffuse, charges diffuse ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. P region ಇಂದ positive charges N region ಗೆ move ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, N ಇಂದ electrons P region ಗೆ move ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, and there forms a junction that is called as depletion layer ಅಂತಾನೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ junction ಅಂತಾನೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and it which possesses a particular potential that is called as barrier potential. Barrier potential ನ represent ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. When the applied voltage is less than the barrier potential, the diffusion does not take place. When the applied voltage is crosses the barrier potential ಗಿಂತ applied voltage ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ the diffusion takes place ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, so that we'll get a current, right? So ಇದಿಷ್ಟು explanation part ನ mention ಮಾಡಿ. Next one is reverse biasing. So reverse biasing ಅಂದ್ರೆ P region is connected to negative terminal. Reverse biasing ali P region is connected to negative terminal of the battery, N region is connected to positive terminal. So since opposite charges irodrinda, the holes from the positive region P region moves towards the negative terminals, and electrons from N region, that is majority charge carriers, moves towards positive terminals because opposite attract ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ the majority charge carriers P ಮತ್ತೆ N region ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ majority charge carriers ಎಲ್ಲದು electrodes ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎನ್ ಪಿ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ electrons are repelled by negative terminal, so therefore they diffuses through the junction and towards the N region, and N region ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥ minority charge carriers are ಹೋಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹೋಲ್ಸು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲಿಂದ ರಿಪೆಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಪಿ ರೀಜನ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಬಯಾಸಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಕರುತ್ತೆ. ವಿಡ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಪ್ಲೀಷನ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗೆ so the width of the region becomes maximum. Why? Because the electrons and holes moves towards the electrode. So therefore diffusion agodilla, therefore we'll get a minimum current. So idishtana explain madre sakagate. So the last one is sixth main, that is problems. So problems part na nota hogana. So first problem is third question, that is sixth mainly. First problem is two charges, that is 15 nanocoulomb and 28 nanocoulomb, placed at vertex of an equilateral triangle of side 5 cm, and what is the electric field at the third vertex? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ equilateral triangle consider ಮಾಡಿದರೆ two vertex ಅಲ್ಲಿ charges ನ place ಮಾಡಿದರೆ. So first let us go for diagrammatic representation so that it will give some ideas so that we can solve problem easily. Diagrammatic ಆಗಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ therefore let us move on to the diagrammatic representation. So equilateral triangle consider ಮಾಡೋಣ. A B C. So A point ಅಲ್ಲಿ 15 nanocoulomb and next one is 20 nanocoulomb. The separation is, the distance is 5 cm. Sides in distance 5 cm ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ equilateral triangle ಅಲ್ಲಿ angle between the sides is 60 degree. The fields is ಎರಡು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ away from the charge ಇರುತ್ತೆ field. So therefore it is EB. And ಇವೆರಡು ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂತ angle is also 60 degree. Let us first find out the field due to the first charge, that is 15 nanocoulomb, and field due to the second charge, that is 20 nanocoulomb. Let us derive that one. Electric field at C due to 15 nanocoulomb, that is EA is equal to formula electric field to 1/4 pi epsilon naught into QA divided by R square. So EA is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught, value is 9 into 10 power 9 into, so charge is 15 nanocoulomb. So 15 into nano is 10 power minus 9. So divided by R square. So R square is 5 into 10 power 5 centimeter is there. So therefore it is minus 2 whole square. So simplify ಮಾಡಿ E is equal to nano ಎಲ್ಲ cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 10 power. So it is 27 divided by, simplify ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು 25 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So simplify ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 27 by 5 into 10 power minus 4. So minus 4, 10 square is there. So minus 4, it is plus 4. So it is finally 5.4 into 10 power 4 Newton per coulomb EA. So similarly electric field at C due to 20 nanocoulomb. It is EB is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught into QB divided by R square. It is 9 into 10 power 9 into QB is 20. So 20 into 10 power minus 9 divided by, again R is 5 into 10 power minus 2 whole square. So its value is 9 cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So finally it is 36 by 5 into 10 power 4. So its value is 7.2 into 10 power 4 Newton per Coulomb. So this is EB. Now individual fields siktu and they are in represents the sides of the parallelogram. So at the point C, the electric field is a resultant of these two fields ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Let us use parallelogram law of vector addition. So ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ the resultant field at C is given by E is equal to root of E1 square E2 square plus 2 E1 E2 into cos theta. So ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ E1 E2 ಐ ಮೀನ್ EA EB ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನೀವು E1 E2 ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡು ರೈಟ್. EA ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ 5.4 into 10 power 4 square plus 7.2 into 10 power 4 square plus 2 5.4 into 10 power 4 into 7.2 into 10 power 4 into cos 60 degree. E is equal to root of ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you'll get 29.16 into 10 power 8 plus 51.84 into 10 power 8 into so idistu simplify ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you'll get 38.8 into 10 power minus plus 8. So it is cos 60 degrees 1 by 2. So therefore 2 cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, remaining is just 1. So finally you'll get simplify ಮಾಡಿ after simplification you'll get 94 into 10 power 8 Newton per Coulomb. So this is a resultant field at the point, that is at the third vertex C. So next one is 34th question. A conductor of length 1.3 meter placed in a magnetic field of 0.4 Tesla. Length of the conductor makes an angle 45 degree with the direction of magnetic field. It will experiences a force of 2 Newton. Then calculate the current in the conductor. So it is a simple problem, actually 5 mark ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So when a conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force, right? So a force in form expression ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Fourth question. So length of the conductor is given 1.3 meter. So next one is magnetic field, it is 0.4 Tesla. So next theta. So conductor na 45 angle alli place ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ with respect to magnetic field. So next force experienced by the conductor is 2 Newton. So you have to find out the current through the conductor, right? So we know that the force experienced by the conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field is given by F is equal to BIL sin theta, right? So we want I, so therefore I is equal to F divided by BL into sin theta. So therefore F is 2 Newton divided by B is 0.4 into L is 1.3 into sin 45 degree. So it is 2 divided by 0.4 into 1.3 into sin 45 is 1 by root 2. So by simplifying, on simplifying we'll get finally 5.43 amperes. So this is our final value, the current through the conductor. Next one is 35th question. 35th question. So a circuit containing a 100 millihenry inductor and 60 microfarad capacitor and 15 ohm resistor in series is connected to a 230 volt 50 hertz supply. Calculate impedance and power factor. A power absorbed, I think mistake ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರಬಹುದು, so it is power factor. ಇಂಪೆಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಕ್ಟರ್, ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್, ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ 3 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇಂಪೆಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ ಎಸ್ 100 into 10 power minus 3 Henry. So next one is inductor, capacitor C is equal to it is 60 into 10 power minus 6 Farad. Next resistor R is equal to 15 ohm, frequency is equal to 50 hertz. So impedance calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು and power factor cos phi ನ find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So we know that impedance of the LCR circuit is Z is equal to root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So first XL ಮತ್ತು XC ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. XL is equal to 2 pi f into L. So 2 into 3.14 into f is 50 into L is 100 into 10 power minus 3. So simplify ಮಾಡಿದರೆ L is 31.4 ohm. Next one is XC, capacitive reactance ನ find out ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. That is resistor ನ 2 pi FC. 2 into 3.142 into 50 into capacitive reactances 60 in capacitances 60 into 10 power minus 6. On simplification you will get 53.07 ohm. So XC. So here XC is greater than XL. So therefore formula na XC minus XL anta barkoona. So therefore impedance Z is equal to root of R square. So ille banbidana. So Z is equal to root of R square plus XC minus XL whole square. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೆದ್ರು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವಯರ್, ಆರ್ ಎಸ್ 15 ಸ್ಕ್ವಯರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ಎಸ್ 53.07 ಮೈನಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಸ್ 31.4 whole square. So Z is equal to 15 square is 225 plus the subtraction is 21.67 whole square. So it is root of 225 plus its root is 468.07. So finally impedance Z value is equal to 26.32 ohm, right? So now power factor, that is cos phi is equal to Z by R. So Z is 26.32 divided by R is 15. So finally we will get 1.75. So while solving problems, formula ಗೆ 1 mark ಇರುತ್ತೆ, substitution ಗೆ 1 mark, simplification ಗೆ 3 marks, final result with unit 1 mark, totally 5 mark. So result ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ 1 mark ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರೀರಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪೆಡೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 3 mark, ಪವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 2 mark, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲಿ 5 marks. Next, 36th question. In Young's double slit experiment, the distance between the slit is 1.2 millimeter and screen is 0.9 meter from the slits. If the wavelength of the light used is 800 nanometer, then calculate fringe width. Next, what is the percentage of change in fringe width if entire apparatus immersed in water of refractive index 1.33? So second part of the question ke amel barna, first part alli you have to calculate the fringe width, right? Young's double slit experiment. Thirty-sixth question. So any details ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. 36th question ಅಲ್ಲಿ distance between the two slits, that is small d, it is 1.2 into millimeter is there, so minus 3 meter. So next one is the distance between the slit is 1.2 millimeter and the screen is 0.9. So it is capital D is also given between the screen and the slits, that is 0.9 meter, and the wavelength of light is given, that is 800 nanometer. Nano is 10 power minus 9 meter. So you have to find out the fringe width. So fringe width find ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Next, refractive index is given, that is mu ಅಥವಾ n ಅಂತ ತಗೋತಾರೆ, that is 1.33. n ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಥವಾ mu. So now let us find out the fringe width. So we know that so fringe width in case of Young's double slit experiment, it is given by beta is equal to d lambda by d. So therefore beta is equal to capital D is, it is substitute ಮಾಡೋಣ, 0.9 into wavelength is 800 into 10 power minus 9 divided by small d value is 1.2 into 10 power minus 3. So it is multiply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 720 divided by 1.2 into 10 power minus 9, ಇದು ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದರೆ plus 3, so minus 9 plus 3 is 10 power minus 6. So on simplification you will get 6 into 10 power 4 meter. So this is a fringe width. Now the entire system is placed in a water, right? So entire apparatus is immersed in a water, in the water of refractive index 1.3. So medium change ಆಯಿತು, so therefore fringe width also changes. So change in fringe width na find out ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು later on we will find out the percentage change, right? So change in fringe width. When placed in water, that is beta dash ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಣ, which is again is equal to beta divided by mu. So beta is 6 into 10 power minus 4 divided by mu is 1.3. So therefore beta dash is equal to, on simplification you will get 4.51 into 10 power minus 4 meter. So now the percentage change in fringe width is equal to beta minus beta dash into 100. So therefore beta is 6 into 10 power minus 4 minus 4.51 into 10 power minus 4 into 100. So on simplification you will get 149 into 10 power minus 4 percentage, or it is also, it can also be written as 0.0149 percentage. Okay, the percentage change in the width, fringe width is that much. So this is all about the problem, right? So idike 2 marks, change in fringe width ge 2 marks, and percentage calculation ge 1 mark, totally 5 marks. Next, last one is 37th question. So that is calculate energy of electron in second orbit of hydrogen atom. Mass of electron 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Charge of electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Planck's constant is 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 joules per coulomb, joules second. Next, permittivity of free space is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 Fm per meter. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎನರ್ಜಿನೇ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. nth ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ದು ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಡೆರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ nth ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ 37th ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ mass of electron it is given 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Next one is charge of electron, E is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Next Planck's constant, H is equal to 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 joules second. Next one is permittivity of free space, that is epsilon naught is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 February per second. Next we know that energy of nth status is minus m into z square into e to the power of 4 divided by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. Okay, this is the energy of nth orbit in case of hydrogen atom. But here they ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು second orbit of hydrogen atom. So for hydrogen atom, so z is equal to 1 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ and n is equal to 2, second orbit ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So therefore E is equal to, that is nth ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ A2 is equal to, ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂದೇ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಮೈನಸ್ m is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 and z square is 1 square into E is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 whole to the power of 4 divided by 8 into n square is 2 square into h is 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 whole square into epsilon naught is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 whole square. ಸೊ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 10 ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಕೆಲವರು ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ. E2 is equal to finally it is minus 9.1 into 6.625